Hi. Okay, so I said we would talk at 3:30, and I'm going to show you how to make our family's best bread. My daughter Christina, turn around. Oh, can you? My daughter Christina is actually hi. Actually, let's go both in there.
And it's working.
Yay! Hi.
It was so funny.
We are preparing for what we do every single Friday. Every Friday we have Shabbat and we celebrate this awesome day because it is the day, first of all, it's a biblical day and God said for us to do it, and it's a blessing for us. It's a time to celebrate. And so he worked 6 days and rested one. That's how he made our bodies, to work 6 and rest 1. And so if you got the message from me a couple of hours ago, I said you need 6 cups of flour. That's what I'm trying to pull together. There we go. 6 cups of flour. I use organic flour. Nina, come closer. Oh, I made my water too hot. I hate it when I do that. I don't have a microwave in my house. The microwave used to be right here, and I hate microwaves. So I told my family, don't use the microwave. And they chose to still heat things up in the microwave. So Mom took it out. I just removed it and did this. So anyway.
And voila.
I don't have, yeah, voila, that's right. And no one misses it. We use a toaster oven instead now. Okay, so you have 6 cups of flour. You should have a 1/2 cup of oil, 1/4 cup of sugar. You're going to need 2 tablespoons and a half of yeast, and then 2 cups of water, which I just messed up. Now I have to cool it off. Still too hot. I'll be right back. I need ice. And really, it only takes about a minute for the water to heat up on the stove. I put it on and I didn't pay attention, which was silly on my part. Ooh, there we go. Now it's perfect.
Other than the ice cubes. Can I show them your boots, please? Because they're so cute.
Yes, you can show boots.
Look at her boots, you guys. Are these not freaking adorable?
Fun?
Her whole get up today is just adorable. I just love the whole outfit.
It's a huge compliment from my 28-year-old, almost 29
Shut up.
year-old daughter.
Keep that nonsense to yourself.
By the way, I want to say hi to Natasha Reynolds because I know she's on here right now. She got all of her deals together. As soon as I did that last video and made that post, I had to go run a quick errand. So I didn't pull everything together as I had strategically planned for this very unusual, spontaneous move I'm making with you right now. Okay, so you got a little bit warm water, 2 cups of warm water. You're going to take a 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. Come over here closer. They need
them to see the ball.
They need to look at me. Okay, here we go. So you're going to sprinkle that yeast inside. And that's another 1/2. And you're going to let that sit, and that's kind of when I pull the rest of the ingredients together. Now, Christina, tell them why challah is your favorite bread and why Shabbat's your favorite night of the week.
Well, it's family night. What do you want me to say about challah? It's just to die for.
Why?
It's really good. It's homemade and fresh every single Friday night. And it means I get to come over and eat. And get fat on your bread.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it pulls apart like a cloud.
Yeah.
You used to have remember before you started making this new one or whatever? You had
the artesian bread?
No. You had the challah and you were making it, but you were doing 2 rices or whatever, and you stopped rising twice.
Exactly, yeah. So by the way, this challah only takes 1 rise, so it's a really quick bread to make.
Oh, it's so much better with the 1 rise.
It is, by far. The second rise, the one that I used to make, had a second rise, and the second rise made it more tough.
Yeah, it was way more tough. This one pulled apart like a cloud, literally. It's fluffy.
Let's go back up here.
Back up here.
And the cool thing about this bread is not only is it a 1 rise bread, but it's also a no knead recipe. So you don't have to knead it. You're just gonna, I use my KitchenAid because it's awesome. I've had one of these since almost all the kids were really little. But I just you're just going to mix the ingredients inside your bowl. So if you have this KitchenAid, go ahead or if you have a mixer like this This makes it so stinking easy. I cannot tell you how easy that makes it. I forgot to drink my shake. I need to drink this. Anyway, so it's a no-knead bread, and It's a one rice bread. So what you also want to do is set your oven. Gosh, no, wrong oven. You want to set your oven at 200 degrees, and make sure there's nothing in there.
Done that before.
So set your oven at 200 degrees, and you want it to heat up. As soon as it says it's 200 degrees, then just turn it off, because the bread needs a place to be able to rise. And it's kind of chilly. I know, it's like
58 today.
58 today. I had 2 lids on that. Nice. Anyway, so you have to wait a couple minutes for the yeast to kind of almost sort of attempt to get foamy in there. So you can see, let's look at it. So it's like starting to kind of settle in the water a little bit. So you just kind of let that do that. And like I said, this is the time where I get the rest of my ingredients together. Oh, I just messed that up.
What'd you do?
You want 1/4 cup of sugar, not a half.
Are we nervous? Never been on camera before. Is that the problem?
You want 1/2 cup of oil. Oh, and then you need 2 eggs. You're going to have 2 eggs inside the challah. The other egg you're going to use to put this amazing crap on the outside. It's not crap. I should have said that was terrible. So yes.
It's better than what you used to say. A long time ago. Just saying.
She's telling the truth. But I've told that truth too.
Yep.
Anyway, so salt. The egg is trying.
We got it. We got it. We're safe. We're safe.
So I love kosher salt. I use kosher salt probably with most things, especially with bread. I don't know why it completely changes it. I've done it with just regular table salt. I've done it with the Himalayan salt. I've tested it with, sea salt. But the kosher salt is the best inside of your challah. So not just because challah is Jewish and kosher salt is Jewish, but I just promise you it really makes the bread just perfect. So I have organic sugar, I have organic flour, I have organic eggs, I have purified water, of course, as always, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this part now because I think it's ready. All right, so come over here.
Coming over here.
I know for you right now it sounds like there's 2 people, 2 of the same voice talking. Because we sound just the same. So now I'm just going to mix them out a little bit.
Trying not to drop the phone when you do that.
That would be good. That would be really good.
That would really suck.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and tonight we're having 19 people for dinner. Of course, the one that's holding the phone right now, who's videotaping this, my daughter Christina, brings 8.
Sorry.
I love it. Okay, so come closer. So now what I'll start to do is just scoop in a little bit of the flour. Okay, I'm just using a big spoon and just, scooping a little bit of it in. And I'm going to let that mix for a little bit.
Now, how long is a little bit?
We're going to see exactly how long a little bit is. Just to where it starts to blend. You want the whole thing to get blended. Also, you can put some sugar or put the sugar in with such a small amount. Let that keep mixing, come and see. Okay, you want to add 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. If I can get that out of there. In our kitchen, I love to cook. I love to cook. And so the theme in our kitchen is travel and all the different places that I've cooked in. So all the different kitchens. So that bowl that we just had is from Costa Rica. And this cool little spoon is from Africa. I haven't been to Africa yet, but a friend of mine that we helped to support on a trip that they went there taking care of the orphans that we've been caring for the last 10 years, brought that back from the town that we became. So now I'm adding more. I added salt, I added the sugar, and I'm adding more of the flour just to get it all mixed and all incorporated. time to add more. So just like until it's blended. That's all we're looking for, is it for it to be blended. And then once you see that it's like starting to kind of get too thick, you're going to start adding more liquid. See, like it is now. So now here goes an egg. So tonight we're having 19 people. So I'm going to make 2 of these. And this is going to make an enormous, come here, look at me. It's going to make a bread this big.
Good, one for me, one
And
for everybody else.
So it's good. Literally, it's going to be, it's about this big. So when I hold the picture, it's about this size, and it's about 6 inches deep. So you can split that one into 2 loaves if you want, but tonight, I'm going to make 2 enormous ones. So as soon as we turn the camera off and I get this one in there, we're going to have 2 enormous ones because there's 19 of us. And that's like the very first thing that we serve on Shabbat, where we kind of all stand around the island. We have a bunch of olives and cheese and wine. But you're going to, when you finish the challah, when it's all baked, you take it out of the oven. I throw this beautiful, what would you call it, Nina?
Your little towel thingy?
It's my little Shabbat towel. There's a towel that's specifically to cover the challah. And what you do is you go through this prayer and all this stuff. But anyway, you pull that bread. You break the bread. You don't cut the challah. You just break the bread. And you're going to see it just like
a cloud.
It is. And it just talks to you. You dip it in olive oil and you dip it in kosher salt. And then you take a bite of it.
Okay, you're making me hungry.
Okay, come back. Okay. So now we're still going to mix. Gonna add more flour now. The dough's gonna be wet, so don't be afraid. It's supposed to be. It's gonna be a really kind of wet, sticky kind of a dough, which is so unlike other breads. And you really think it's not gonna turn out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that 1/2 cup of oil. I want it all in there. Okay. Turn the mixer on slowly.
Don't spray me.
Exactly. Nice little all out. My favorite grocery store, well that's my favorite grocery store in the whole wide world is H-E-B. And if you're not in Texas, you've never had the chance to experience H-E-B. It's so awesome. First of all, it's a man that comes from a family of believers. It was started right here in our town. And you just feel that he loves your family because first of all, he makes all organic foods so cheap. Like we can get a pound of organic pasta straight from Italy for $1.28 a pound. Give me a break. I mean, Walmart's $1 a pound for cheap, nasty, crappy GMO pasta, but $1.28 for organic pasta. And same with the organic flour and the organic sugar and organic coconut oil, for example. By the way, I want to answer a question as this is mixing. Somebody had asked, can I use a different kind of oil? I don't know. When I first started to learn how to make challah, which just needs to be mixed a little bit more, it's a little too wet on top. It needs to get incorporated. So when you take your wonderful, beautiful, pampered chef, love these. My entire kitchen's outfitted with them because my girlfriend, in fact, my girlfriend Jen, she was a Pampered Chef ref, gosh, like 17, 18 years ago. And so I obviously threw a party for her, and my entire kitchen got filled for free with all of their awesome and amazing stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna let that mix a little bit more. What was I talking about?
Oil.
Oil. Okay, so when I started to learn, I started to look up and learn from, of course, Jewish women who make challah every week. They said do not use olive oil. So I haven't tried it yet. I haven't tried making it with olive oil, but olive oil has a really strong flavor. So I know it would change the flavor of this. And so canola oil is not GMO. I haven't tried another oil, but it seems to me like she said use vegetable oil or canola oil. I think it needs to be a really light oil. And same with some coconut oil can kind of tend to be Well, first of all, you have to get the kind that it doesn't taste like coconut. If you want the challah to turn out the way mine does. But, and if you know some more information about canola oil that says it's really bad for you, I know vegetable oil, anything with corn products in it, forget about that nonsense. You don't want that. Okay, come over here and look. Okay, that's about what it should look like. So you notice it's it's super sticky, like super sticky. In fact, I'm gonna have to transfer this to a different bowl. I wouldn't recommend that you do. All you would normally do is take this dough and I wrap plastic bags over it, the bags that I get from HEB, you know, that my groceries come in. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but I have to take it out of this because I have to mix another challah really quick because we're going to share tonight. And our family, just like when Christina's over with her husband Scotty and the kids, and then just a couple of my kids and my other daughter who I swear I birthed her, Isa, who's been a part of the family for 10 years. So just like, I don't know, I guess it's like, how many of that is of us? I can't even count. So a small party, we will eat, well actually last Shabbat we just have kept it cool. I just have the 6 grandkids. I had my goddaughter and my son Micah, and Hans and I, we ate a whole challah ourselves. So I'm figuring since we're having 19, like almost double that size, I need to make a whole nother one. Christina was on a cruise last Friday night, and Isa was in California last time, so.
And you were on baby duty.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so it's pretty thick. I'm throwing it in a different bowl again, only because I'm gonna make another complete batch, and I need this bowl. Or I should say I want this bowl. I want to use my mixer. I've made the challah without my mixer before. In fact, a couple weeks ago, because I made 1.5 challahs, and a double batch won't fit in here. 12 cups won't fit in here. Actually, does anyone know where I can just get the bowl? Because I could use another bowl. I need to order another bowl, because I very often make more than one challah, and then, well, I actually don't need another bowl, but it'd be nice to have one. Okay, so look, come over here and look at this dough. So it looks nothing like most breads. Okay, look at that. See, it's sticky.
And that's just a funky light. It's not really looking green on top, you guys.
Okay, here. Over here.
I promise.
Here. Is that better? Okay, so there you go. So it's kind of sticky, kind of tacky, if you will. And that's what you want it to look like. So then we're going to cover it up with 2 bags, because one bag always has a hole in it. Okay? I'm going to cover it up to kind of seal in the gases that the yeast is going to make.
And you were right about that hole, weren't you?
Yeah, always. Okay? And then you're going to just throw it in your oven. After you turn it off, of course. You're going to have it off. Toss it in there. See you in 1 hour.